Okay. We wanted to provide an update this evening to our community about the AZ Mills Mall incident that occurred Friday, September 13th at around 7:30 p.m. At 7:30 p.m., Tempe Dispatch 911 received multiple calls about a shooting and or what citizens believed to be an active shooting inside the food court of Arizona Mills Mall. That response was large. Many jurisdictions showed up, including members of Tempe Police Department, MCSO deputies, as well as DPS troopers to the location. We quickly were able to determine that an active shooter was not occurring. So our response was still large. To put it in reference, Arizona Mills Mall is 1.2 million square feet of a location. Once we got there, we then were able to conduct initially, since there was no active shooting, a sweep of the location. We did a primary sweep with all these individual agencies that responded. That primary sweep was conducted to really prioritize the safety of that community and specifically the mall. We were looking for victims and or suspects that may have hidden or done anything inside the mall. There were still employees, there were still family members inside the mall, and the people that were attending the mall that we had to ensure their safety and get them out. After the primary sweep was conducted, we conducted a secondary sweep inside the mall to ensure all doors, everything had been open to ensure there's nothing going on, and we were able to close the business. So after that, it was late into the evening. What can we update you now? What we can tell you is this. That night, there was a fight between two groups of people in the food court. There were large groups in the food court area around 7:30. That argument in the food court led to a shooting. Right after the shooting occurred, we can imagine the chaos that ensued. People running, as well as those that were actively involved with the shooting. Many people ran. What else do we know? We know that we retrieved, after the investigation, 12 casings. We are still conducting as many investigations and conducting the investigation to its fullest right now. What we also know is that night, no one was injured during this incident in the food court, which is miraculous, and we're thankful that no one was injured that night. This was a large response. The community wanted to know what was going on. There was many moving pieces that night for us. These protective sweeps and the sweeps that we conducted inside were our main priority to prioritize life. What we're asking the community tonight is to continue our investigation into those that were involved in those groups that were involved with the shooting. We need the families, the people that were at the mall, young and old. If you were at the mall that night and you had your phone out, you were with your family, you were taking video, you took a selfie, anything, between the hours of 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., we're asking, please, send us that information. This is still very much an active investigation, but anyone's assistance and anyone's help is important. You can contact the Tempe Police Department at 480-350-8311 with that information, and you can also remain anonymous, but we need your help. We have time for a couple questions too, as well.
How many suspects are you looking for?
Well, all we know is that we have two large groups who are involved in the food court. As you can imagine, on a Friday night at 7 o'clock, there were many people in that food court area, so this is why we're asking for the community's help, is how many people were involved in those groups and to really dial down our investigation.
Do you have any idea, any cost of any damages that happened? I mean, there was a sign that had a bullet hole through it. Have you guys looked into that at all?
I think as part of an ongoing investigation to determine where those bullet strikes happened and then working in conjunction with the businesses to determine some of those things, we don't have that number for you right now.
With that being said, you say you need the public's help. Is there a reason why the media hasn't gotten any surveillance video that was taken from inside the mall? Because there was some that we've got photographs from.
Yeah, that's a great question. We do have many businesses that have provided us with their surveillance video. What we're asking for is, in addition, specifically the food court area. That is so helpful because some of the angles that we received from the food court area simply do not show us as closely as we want. So that's why we're asking for additional help.
Could they be released to us so we could help show our newscast? Could we obtain some of that footage?
Yeah, we'll talk it over with our detectives and we'll see what we can do to help share that as well, to help these members of our community.
Is this something that you think was maybe premeditated? Can we use the term gang activity, anything like that?
That's a great question. And to determine that at this point in the investigation, it's still ongoing. What our big ask right now is once we get this information from the community, this really helps us hone in on our investigation.
We've heard about rifles. First off, how are they even able to get in with guns? Are people, clients able to walk through the mall with guns?
So this is an open mall. An individual is how you can conceal them and what type of guns they had. This is the whole purpose why we're here tonight, is to get those closer pictures. What did people see? What were they looking at? But yes, there are multiple caliber, different type of calibers that we have retrieved from that scene.
Do you know how many people were shooting?
We do not have the exact determination about how many.
There were a lot of rumors going online, and just that at the time, but also being called out. People were saying that there were two individuals possibly with long guns. And based on the caliber of weapon, are you able to tell what type of weapon, if in fact it was long gun, AR style rifle?
What I can determine is at this point, there was 6 .45 caliber rounds and 6 .223 rounds. So, but to determine that they are long rifle or not, that is why we're asking for the community's help.
Is it fair to say both groups had somebody that was shooting, or were these guns from just one group to the other?
Again, to determine, that's why we need the surveillance, to see this was an argument between two groups. Why we need to corroborate more is with this video. Were they coming from two separate groups? Was it within one group? That's why we need the help.
I know you said you need our help, but do you have any potential leads on suspects right now, or where do you stand with that?
Our investigation is still very much ongoing, determining these two groups. We have had many community members so far that have helped us, including AZ Mills with the video surveillance inside from the businesses. We are moving forward in our investigation. As more information comes forward, we'll definitely share it.
You know roughly the age of the suspects that you're potentially looking at? Any ideas?
We have a big parameter. It could be young, could be adults, but as far as that's why we're here today.
Have you guys ever dealt with something like this before?
We have had other incidents at AZ Mills. It is a large mall. It has had other incidents before, but this was an opportunity for really us to exercise with multi-jurisdictional response to a situation to ensure the safety of our community. These are difficult. We have multiple malls. We have Tempe Marketplace as well, which is a large open-air mall. But responding to AZ Mills, we have worked with them for years. We have done training at AZ Mills, even within our police department, to ensure what that looks like and how we respond there.
I was just there, Arizona Mills, this past weekend. I didn't see any police activity, even at the entrance, no officer. My question is, following the incident throughout these past days, has any type of security been implemented? Like is Tempe, for example, Tempe PD in the area?
We are working with Arizona Mills to ensure the safety of the mall, especially the weekend time when there's high volumes of people. What we can tell you is that our response may be visible to the public and it may be not, as we continue to work through our investigation. Any other questions? Thank you all so much for your time.